So I just want to say that my voice will turn robotic at some point, but I don't know how to fix it. Hello, everybody! Today I played in a rabbit chess tournament in Nashville, my local city, and it went pretty well. Out of 5 games, which is very good, especially since I started 3-0. I won 3 games back to back, and then I got put against higher rated opponents, and I lost twice in a row. But you know, it happens. It just does happen. It's a very comfortable position. But I want to go over my first game I had. I played really well. My opponent was no pushover. My first game was against the candidate's master, Thomas Gustafsson, who I beaten once before, but it's been a while. I think I last beat him in, I would say, October, November, somewhere around there. It's when I last beat him. But yeah, this game started out pretty usual. It started out with him going for his signature steamer. But I didn't want to get into a steamer because I may play the deemer, but he knows the deemer better than me and has been playing it for years. I have not. I've been playing for half a year at max, ever since I actually got introduced to it. It might even be like a quarter year, but it's a very fun opening. I play e6, and he brings out a knight. I simply go for c5. Now this is a big mistake. This is a free pawn. I'm giving away a free pawn in the opening because I feel like I have very good, activity. Now I play queen e7 because I don't want a queen trade, and I don't want him to take my bishop. He plays bishop e2, which is a mistake, and now I just attack the bishop, and no, the queen, and he has to go back. Of course, this was not the best way to play for me. I should have brought up the knight attacking queen instead, but I just felt like this was very smart. Here I came up with a little bit of an interesting idea, where I castle. Now here, after takes, he should long castle, and be completely fine. But if you take this pawn, if you get greedy, you have to worry about knight bd7. And if you try to short castle, I play rook here. I play rook takes. Now that knight is hanging. I play rook back attacking the queen, and I attack the queen again. After this here, I take here, and we're just in a very comfortable position where I have regained my pawn, and we're most likely heading for a draw. But he decided to not get greedy. He decided to just play knight h3. And I just bring out my knight. Now he finally takes, I take back, and here he plays castles. And I miss knight d4. And I think because I missed knight d4 because I was worried over the game of queen to e3. But after queen to e3, there's just knight takes bishop with check. And we're just heading for a draw again. Even though I'm down a pawn, but we'd just be heading for a draw. Because he would get a weakness in the center after knight takes knight, queen takes queen, pawn takes queen. He would have a weakness in the center for that extra pawn he has. And yeah, it would be very difficult for him to defend that pawn in long run. So it's basically what we consider a lost pawn, positionally. But I missed that, and I instead just attacked his queen. I wanted to trade off this, but I wanted to do it in a way where I felt happy about it. So I play rook here to get my knight here and keep that activity going. He plays knight f4 and I attack the queen, so I have both rooks in the game now. And here I play a mistake. I play knight ce5. And here he can just play rook fd1 or h3 or rook ad1. He has to play one of those moves. The point is he has to bring my knight back to f7 and then play rook to d1. Here though he plays rook to e1. And I just respond. I should have responded with b5, immediately lashing out on the other side of the board. But I instead played a very dumb move. I decided to go into an endgame where I'm just down a pawn. And I make it worse after rook d1 with knight here. Now, this is a lost position, basically. Like, rook d1, g5. I'm down a pawn. I have nothing really to play for, except one thing. And that is he has a very weak f2 square. Very weak f2 square. And he forgot about that f2 square, and he played queen takes b7. He made a simple oversight that just lost him the game. Now, to be fair, he was also very low at this point. I think he had like a minute left. So I played check, I played takes, and he decided after like 20 seconds of thinking to go for this rook move. Rook check, rook here, and queen here. He played all that instantly, and I figured that, okay, I take the queen, I play f5 to stop any g4 check ideas, because I just want to pre-move down my king down to h4. And I just played g6 for no apparent reason, other than I was moving. I probably had some ideas with g4, pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, and then bring in the pawns, go for the attack with the pawns, but that's not necessary. I was just overcomplicating things. I should have just played king h6 and king h5. He plays king e2, and I should play king h4 now, immediately. This was my whole plan to begin with. I would trap the rook, I would win the rook, and then I play queen check. I forgot I could just win the rook. Okay, he played king h1, I play now king h4, rook g2, and I play queen here. Now he plays c6, I play queen takes f3, he plays king g1, I play king takes h3, he plays rook f2, I play queen here. I'm going for sort of like a Philidor defense, where I'm just trying to attack his rook there. And he plays c7, and I play king g3, and he resigns. Because there's no way, whatever move you do, I can pre-move it. Whatever you move to do, I'm gonna take the rook, I'm gonna play queen f1. That is, no matter what you do, I can take the rook. No matter. If you play king h1, it's the same thing. If you play b4, it's the same thing. If you play a4, it's the same thing. And if you play a3, it's the exact same thing. There's no other move you can do. Of course, it's rabbit, so you can go here, and then I'll look at him and say that's an illegal move. Yeah, but yeah, it was just a very good game where we both made mistakes, but his was way more critical. That's really the only difference between our mistakes, is that where I made small ones, where the position wasn't defined, we hadn't traded off any pieces, so my mistakes weren't that bad in the long run. The problem here is that you're in the endgame. A mistake in the endgame will cost you the game. Or draw it, but if you are the one, if you were to win the game, and it ends up in a draw in the endgame, my brain argues that as you lost that. If you lose the win in a one endgame and it ends up in a draw, you lost. I don't care what you say, you lost. Oh, but a draw isn't lost. No, you lost. You had a win. You didn't find it. You lost. But here, for example, if none of these are around, right? Or well, if just his pieces aren't around here, and I play king g3, if none of these are around, he has this little trick. Of course, it's still a loss in-game, but if I take it, it's stalemate. The only problem is I don't have to take it, and I have check instead, forcing rook here. This, like, it's a very nice move. If none of these pawns are around and you play king h1, I will applaud you for trying to go for it, but I will just mate you, because you're still cut off. Yeah, block with a rook and I'll mate. But yeah, very nice game, very fun game as well. I'm also gonna go over the last game I won. Now, I can actually remember that game from my head, so I'm just gonna play it over the analysis board. So I was playing white here, and he was playing black. I play e4, he plays the Sicilian, I play knight here, and I went for an opening I hadn't played in a long time. I play c3, the Alapin defense. He plays d5, I go e takes d5, queen takes e5, I go pawn here, takes, he goes pawn here, I bring out a knight, he goes bishop here, I go bishop here, which is an inaccuracy, but I liked it. We go knight here, this here, he castles, I castles, he plays e5, I play c4, and I thought this was very smart, but then I missed that he has just e4. I found the best response to it, which was this. And here, he should have taken queens, and then I got into the endgame. But instead, he decided to take this, and he gave slight advantage back over to me. I played knight here, he played here, and I forced this bishop off the board. He defends this pawn, I play rook a d1, he plays rook f c8. Now remember that f is very important. I defend the pawn, he plays queen here, and I play rook f e1. A sneaky move. Very sneaky move, in fact. Now, after the game, he told me that he did, in fact, see this move. He did see it. He just forgot all about it after he saw it. So, he did the typical thing of, that's a threat. What was a threat? And he took this pawn. And I play rook e8 check. I am forcing the rook off of this file with a deflection, and I'm taking the queen. Now you might say, but what if the position was different? Let's say pawn here, pawn here. Is this still free? No, it's not. Because now after rook e8, king here, I take the queen. I defend the rook. I force the defense away from this rook, and I take this rook. I'm just up a rook. I have 2 rooks in the endgame. How am I gonna lose? It's 2 rooks against 1. I'm gonna win that. He can't even checkmate me in the back, so. Yeah. Both of these were very fun. I just quickly decided to go with this game, because this is the other game I had against him. And it also was a very fun game where we played perfectly, basically. We both played perfectly. The only thing was that he forgot I had a rook sacrifice to win the queen here. He just forgot I had this sacrifice. And yeah. Have a great day.